A very good morning to all of you. Myself, Dr. Preeti Yadav. I am working as Assistant Professor of Physics in St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management Gurugram. I am from Applied Science Department. Today I will discuss Langevin or Classical Theory of Paramagnetism from Unit 2 and the lecture number 11. In my previous lecture, I have discussed the Langevin theory of diamagnetism. First of all, what is paramagnetism? The magnetism properties in paramagnetic substances, and that phenomena is known as paramagnetism. Paramagnetism occurs in those substances where the individual atom molecules have a permanent net magnetic dipole moment. Also, paramagnetic substances contains odd number of valence electrons. The permanent magnetic moment result from the following contribution. The first is spin on intrinsic moments of the electron. Second is the orbital motion of the electron. Due to orbital motion, there is a orbital magnetic moment, and due to spinning motion of the electron, there is a spin magnetic moment of the electrons. And due to this, there is a net magnetic moment in paramagnetic substances. Now, also the spin alignment is random. In paramagnetism, the alignment of the electron dipoles is random in all the direction, and the magnetic dipoles do not interact with each other in paramagnetic substances. This is the diagram. Here it is clear that this arrow represents the magnetic dipole. In the absence of magnetic field, there is a net magnetic moment. There is a permanent magnetic moment in paramagnetic. But these magnetic dipoles oriented randomly in any direction. If we apply a magnetic field, then these dipoles are aligned in the direction of the magnetic field, and then the alignment of dipoles in the direction of magnetic field in paramagnetic substances is known as paramagnetism. Now, what is the process of paramagnetism? First of all, we know in paramagnetism, these substances have an odd number of electrons. Odd means 1 if the spin is up or if the spin is down. If the electron moving in clockwise direction or electron moving in anti-clockwise. Let's first discuss if the electron move in clockwise direction. Then electron moving around the nucleus in clockwise direction, due to movement of electron, there exists a current, because current is the motion of the electron. If the electron move clockwise direction, the electron current move in anti-clockwise direction, because we know that the direction of current is always opposite to the direction of the electron. Due to movement of electron, then due to movement of the current, there appears a north pole on this face of the cell, because current in the anti-clockwise direction. If there is a north pole on the upper face of the orbit, then the lower face of the orbit or inner face of the orbit or cell behave as a south pole. If there exists north and south pole, then this behave as a magnetic. If they behave as a magnetic field. If there is a magnetic field, then there exists a magnetic dipole, because north and south pole created. Due to magnetic dipole, then there exists a magnetic dipole moment, which is the strength of the magnetic dipole. And we know that the direction of magnetic dipole moment is from south to north, and in that case, there is a lower face of the cell acts as a south and upper face acts as a north, and therefore the direction of magnetic dipole moment from inner to outer. This is the direction of dipole from inner to outer. Therefore, in paramagnetic substances exists a net magnetic dipole moment without any field. If the electron move in anti-clockwise direction, then the current move in clockwise direction. Then if the current move in clockwise direction, therefore the upper face of the shell or the orbit behave as a south pole due to the motion of the current, and the upper face if acts as a south, then the lower face acts as a north pole. And we know that the direction of a magnetic dipole moment from south to north, therefore from outer upper to lower surface means outer to inner, and therefore is the outer to inner side the direction of magnetic dipole. In both the cases, there is a net magnetic moment in paramagnetic substances. And the next case, what is the example of paramagnetic materials, metals, atoms and molecules possessing an odd number of electrons, free Na atoms, gases, nitric oxide, etc. Free atoms align with a partially filled inner shell, transition elements, rare earth, and actinide elements, Mn2 plus, Gd3 plus, U4 plus, etc. A few compounds with an even number of electrons, including molecular oxygen. A few compounds that contain even number of electrons, including molecular oxygen. Now, what is the classical or Langevins theory of paramagnetism? A theory that deals a substance as a classical collection of permanent magnetic dipole with no interaction between them, having a Boltzmann distribution with respect to energy of interaction with an applied field. Let us consider a medium containing n magnetic dipoles per unit volume and each with dipole moment mu, because a paramagnetic substance contains a number of atoms and a number of atoms and a number of magnetic dipoles per unit volume with magnetic moment mu. This is the here there is no magnetization, because magnetization means alignment of the magnetic dipole in the direction of B, and also here B is equal to 0. There existed dipole but not magnetization, because magnetization means alignment of these magnetic dipoles in the direction of B, means field. Here is the direction of B, there is some alignment of the dipoles, and here M is not equal to 0 because there is a alignment of dipole in the direction of the field B. And this process is known as magnetization. The main purpose of Langevins theory means the alignment of dipole in the direction of the field. Also in this theory, we have calculated the magnetic moment, also calculate the susceptibility of paramagnetic substances. In the presence of magnetic field, potential energy of the magnetic dipole means V is equal to minus mu dot B, that is equal to minus mu B cos theta. Here, the main purpose of paramagnetism is to align the dipole in the direction of the field, and therefore work is done by the dipoles. Here, work is done by the dipoles to align all the dipoles in the direction of the field, and the work done is stored in a magnetic dipole in the form of potential energy, and that is mu is, V is the potential energy, that is equal to mu dot B, the is equal to minus mu B dot product is equal to mu B cos theta. Minus here due to work is done against force, therefore here is negative sign is used. Theta is the angle between the magnetic moment and the field. Now if theta is equal to, if theta is equal to 0 means in the direction of the field, then here all the dipoles are in the direction of the field. Therefore, potential energy is minimum and work done is minimum. Therefore, V is equal to minus mu B when theta is equal to 0. Here, dipoles are aligned in the direction, already aligned in the direction of the magnetic field. It shows that dipoles tend to line up with the field. The effect of temperature, however, is to randomize the direction of dipole, because if we increase the temperature, there is a randomness increase in the dipoles. The effect of these two competing processes is that some magnetization is produced. Here, this is the magnetic dipole and this is the direction of B. Here, theta is between them. If theta is 0, then all the dipoles are in the direction of the field and the work done is minimum in that case. Because all electrons are in the direction of the field, then no work is done to move the dipoles in the direction of the field. Suppose B is applied along Z axis. This is a Z and theta is made by dipole with that Z axis. Dipole with Z axis. The probability of finding the dipole along the theta direction, where we used probability, then we used distribution law. Here we use Boltzmann distribution law, that is F theta, that is equal to E minus V by KT. Here V is the potential energy. Put the value of potential energy from the previous slide, that is equal to mu B cos theta upon KT. Here negative is already there, therefore negative is positive, and F theta is the Boltzmann factor, which indicate that dipole is more likely to lie along the field than another direction. The average, because in that case there is a number of dipoles. There is number of in that direction, in that direction, in that direction. Now we take the average value of magnetic dipole in that in the direction of the field, that is along Z axis, is given as mu average value mu Z F theta d omega, that F theta d omega, that is where integration is carried out over the solid angle, whose element is this d omega, that is the integration takes into account all the possible orientation of the dipole. Now we know that we're taking Z component, then resolve, we're taking mu in Z axis, therefore resolve mu in two components, mu sine theta and mu cos theta, because in the direction of the field there is a horizontal component, therefore we have used here mu cos theta, horizontal component of magnetic dipole, and the solid angle is equal to 2 pi sine theta d theta. Considering that the dipoles can take value from 0 to pi, here theta varies from 0 to pi only. Now mu limits change from 0 to pi. Here mu cos theta 2 pi, put the value of d omega 2 pi sin theta d theta, E mu b cos theta upon me kt d theta, and here F theta is equal to 2 pi sin theta E mu b cos theta upon me kt d theta. 2 pi cancel to each other and the resultant is this. Now solve this equation by putting mu b by kt is equal to A. Now here we put cos theta is equal to S. To simplify this integration, we put cos theta is equal to S, and the differentiation of cos theta sin theta d theta is equal to minus dx. Here is a minus sign, we used here minus sign, and limits, because the value of cos theta 0 1 and pi minus 1, then minus 1 to plus 1, limits lies, put here mu cos theta is equal to x here, and sine theta d theta is equal to minus dx, also here minus dx, therefore minus minus cancel to each other, and e a cos theta is equal to x, therefore x e x dx, and upon sine theta d theta is minus dx, we already cancel with each other minus minus, and EA cos theta is equal to x dx. Now integrate this by parts, and the resultant equation, average value of magnetic dipole moment is mu EA. After putting the limits, EA plus E minus A, EA minus E minus A minus 1 by A. And here this function represents the cot hyperbola A. Therefore, we put here this value equal to cot hyperbola A minus 1 by A, and that cot hyperbola A minus 1 by A is Langevin function of represented by L A. Therefore, average value of magnetic dipole moment is equal to mu. This is LA. There A is equal to mu B upon mu KT. This is the graph. This is a graph between Langevin function and with A. Here, if we increase it, the LA increases, but for most practical situation, A is less than 1. Therefore, from here, this is a graph where if we put A is less than 1, then after this, solving this equation, then LA is equal to A by 3. All these terms less than 1, all the terms neglected, then LA is equal to A by 3. And here, this is the value of Langevin function when A is less than 1. Also, here, if we increase, there are two cases arises. Here, if we increase A means if we increase magnetic field. If we increase magnetic field and the temperature decreases, if we increase magnetic field, then all the dipoles are aligned in the direction of the field. Then we get a straight graph, because there is a saturation, because all dipoles are aligned in the direction of the magnetic field. And in second case, if A is decreases, means B is decreases, then we get susceptibility, and when we get a inverse relationship between susceptibility and temperature. From the next slide, we will discuss. Here LA is equal to A by 3, and the average value mu Z is equal to mu A by 3. Put the value of A, mu B upon 3 kT, and the magnetization, we know that magnetization means here n is the number of dipole, mu Z is the average value of magnetic dipole. If there are n atoms, then the magnetization is n mu Z, and multiply by n mu square B by 3 kT, and number of dipoles per unit volume. And this is the value of magnetization. Here we know that B is equal to mu naught H. Put the value of B, mu naught H, and mu square mu naught H upon 3 kT. And we know that what is susceptibility? Susceptibility is M by H, and the value of M here, n mu square mu naught H upon 3 kT. H cancel to each other, and the resultant susceptibility is n mu square mu. Here this is the dipole, and this is the permeability, and 3 kT. This equation is known as Curie's law, and from here it is clear that susceptibility for paramagnetic is positive and greater than 1. Also, susceptibility is inversely proportional to temperature. If we increase the temperature, susceptibility of paramagnetic decreases. Our equation is written in the simplest form. Xi is C by T. All these quantities are constant. K constant, N constant, mu naught, all these constant. Only Xi is equal to C by T, and where C is equal to N mu square, N mu naught square, mu square upon 3K. C is Curie constant, and this is the graph between susceptibility of paramagnetic and temperature. If it increase the temperature, susceptibility is decreases, and there is a inverse 1 by x into T, we get a straight graph. If we increase the temperature, then at a temperature is known as Curie's temperature, after which paramagnetic substances lose their magnetism properties and change into a diamagnetic substances. And the Curie's or transition temperature is different for different materials. Now, what is the failure of Langevins theory? What is the limitation of Langevins? First is Langevins theory failed to explain some complicated temperature dependence of susceptibility of few compressed and cooled gases, solid salts, and crystal, etc. Langevins theory does not explain the temperature dependent susceptibility of these substances. Also, in such substances, Curie's law get modified in the form. Here, another term, theta C, is used here, where theta C is a constant. Also, this theory does not throw light or does not give any relationship between para and ferromagnetism. These are the Langevins limitation of the Langevins theory or failures of Langevins theory. Due to this failures of Langevins theory, we consider another theory which introduced a theory of paramagnetism that overcome the limitation of Langevins theory of paramagnetism, which introduced the concept of internal molecular field. Means, according to which paramagnetic substance, there exists a molecular field produced at any point by all the neighboring dipoles. Means, there are two types of field in paramagnetic. First is external that we have applied externally, and the second is the internal field that is produced by all the neighboring molecules inside a paramagnetic material. Therefore, that internal molecular field is represented by Hi, and that also directly proportional to magnetization. If Hi is greater, then magnetization also greater. Or Hi is proportional to remove proportionality and we use proportionality constant delta, and that delta is known as molecular field constant. Therefore, the net effective field should be on the material is He effective field, that is H externally we applied, and lambda m, this is due to the internal molecular field. Now the classical treatment of that m is equal to ms a by 3, we know from the previous slide, for a less than 1 and a is equal to mu v by kt. Therefore, the resultant m is equal to ms a by 3, and put the value of ms and a here, and mu square mu naught he. Here be replaced by mu naught h. Therefore, H is replaced by effective field inside the paramagnetic material. And put the value of He. H is equal to, from the previous slide, H is equal to H plus delta M. And taking common M from this and this equation, therefore 1 minus n mu square mu naught upon 3 kt lambda, that is equal to n mu square mu naught upon 3 kt H. Now the value of m is equal to n mu square mu naught by h, 3 kt, 1 by lambda. And we know that susceptibility is m by h. Therefore, divide this equation by h cancel it here. Therefore, the resultant is n mu square mu naught upon 3 kt, 1 minus lambda and mu square mu naught 3 kt. And multiplied by t inside. Therefore, t 3k, t minus lambda, it is already there, cancel to each other, and the resultant equation are in the form of susceptibility C by T minus TTC. Modified the susceptibility of the paramagnetic substances according to Langevins theory. Introduce a new constant theta C, where theta C is equal to this lambda n mu square mu naught upon में 3k or multiplied by lambda. Here this is known represented by theta c, paramagnetic Curie point, and C is equal to n mu square here upon mu square mu naught by 3k, and this is known as Curie constant, and this is Curie's law. This is the susceptibility using wave theory, and theta C is a paramagnetic Curie point. After that, Curie temperature, paramagnetic change into ferromagnetic substances. Now the important question of today's lectures are: first is value of susceptibility of paramagnetic and find the expression. This explain Curie's law. Now third is Langevins theory of paramagnetism. These are very important. These are the important questions of today's topics. Now, thank you.